Okay, I'm going to go through checkmate, and stalemate. So this all involves the king. So we have our lovely white king over here. Now, what check is, if I use the bishop, the king is in danger of being captured the next turn. For example, this dark squared bishop moves here. Because they move diagonally, now if the king doesn't move or something doesn't block, the dark bishop will be able to capture the king next turn. Now, the way chess works is that if your king is in danger, the opponent has to say check. For example, check. So as black, I'm saying that the white king is in check. So it's in danger, so either two things have to happen. Either the king moves or something blocks. For example, if there's a pawn here, the pawn could block. So now the dark bishop can either move here, it could take the pawn, but then the king can take. So that's how you can block, so you just move the pawn here. Or it can be any piece. Or you can move out of the way. So dark bishop's path straight through here, king out of the way, king good, king happy, me happy. If, for example, the king can't move, then it's called checkmate, which means the game's over, black wins. If the white king is in checkmate. If the black king's in checkmate, then white wins, obviously. And in this position, I'm like, okay, I want to get my pawn, so I'm moving my pawn up. And black player puts their queen here. So now it's check, because my king is in danger of being captured by the black queen next turn, right? I have two options, block or move. Now I can't block because there's nothing to block with, so I can move. But if I go here, the queen still gets me from diagonally. If I go here, queen still gets me going straight. If I go here, queen still gets me diagonally. If I go here, queen still gets me straight, right? Now, if I try and take the queen, the bishop will take me next turn. For example, if I go here, so the bishop will take. So essentially, the bishop is protecting the queen. So in this case, it's check and I can't do anything, so therefore it's checkmate. If there's something like this, so notice bishop coming along like this, the black moves queen here, delivers check, so you say check, and then the king has to move out of the way, and he can't, so where can he go? Can he go here? He can. He can go here. He can't go here, because both the queen and the bishop can't stay where he is because of the queen. He can go here, and he can't go here because of the bishop. So he has a couple of different options, so in this case, you might go here. So you've essentially escaped check. So that's check, that's checkmate. Check is when your king is in danger of being captured the next turn. Checkmate is when you've lost because your king can't block and your king can't move, and it's going to be captured next turn no matter what. And finally, there is stalemate. So we've check, checkmate, and stalemate. So stalemate is when the king has no legal moves but is not in check. So legal move being he can't move into check. The king is safe right now. There's nothing attacking him. Now the queen delivers check. So it's check because the queen can go straight. So what the king is going to do is the king is going to move this way. And the queen goes, okay, I'm going to move here. Now, the king is not in danger because the bishop is here, queen straight, diagonal straight. So the king is not in danger of check. But he has no pieces left to move. But he has to move something. But he can't. He can't go here because the queen takes. He can't go here because the queen takes again. He can't go here because the queen takes. So he can't move, but he has to move. So that's called a stalemate, where the king's not in danger, but you can't move any pieces. For example, a stalemate wouldn't occur if you had a pawn over here, because now the queen's moved. The king can't move, but you can move your pawn. So you might move your pawn here, and then the queen could go here. delivering checkmate, because it's guarded by the bishop, so the king can't take, and the king can't move out because the queen would take anyway. Another example of stalemate, even if you did have a couple of pieces, so you had 2 pawns here, is if there was 2 pawns blocking them. So you might still have pieces, but you just can't move them because the pawns can't push into each other, because it's not how pawns work. And they have nothing to do, and your king can't move, and blacks just move their queen down, and you don't have any moves, so again it's a stalemate. Right, so that's check when the king's in danger, checkmate when the king is in danger but has no moves because they'd all result in him being taken, and stalemate is when the king is not in danger but he can't make any moves, and this results in a complete draw. So even if black had all their pieces and white only had the king left, it's still a stalemate, still a draw.